There's another universe. Please make some noise.
Hey my little raggities, what is up? How are we doing? How are we feeling today? If you are new here, I am Raina Swan, aka your new book bestie, aka the one and only Big Raggedy, period. So today I am showing you guys some new ebooks that I have on my Kindle. Lately I've been in my ebook bag, and I might as well share all the books that I'm receiving with my book besties, okay? What good is a book bestie if you can't share what books you just got, okay? That's your job, to sit and listen to me rant and rave about how excited I am about these books that are on my Kindle. So that's what we're doing today. You guys know that for the month of November, I am reading books by Black male authors, and we're keeping the ball rolling. I recently DNF'd the Nickel Boys, so I had to pick a replacement book. So I am currently reading Brandon Massey's newest page turner, Backwoods, which is a supernatural horror / thriller. And one thing Brandon is going to do, he's always going to create a character that is money hungry, and it's typically going to be a male, and it's going to be based in Atlanta. So you see where we're going with this, okay? As of right now, I'm only 10% in because I just started reading this yesterday. I believe I'm on chapter 6, and things are already getting pretty interesting. I'm going to pull up the synopsis so I can, tell y'all what the book is about. So the synopsis says, when successful entrepreneur Nick Alexander visits his reclusive grandfather's remote Georgia property, he's hoping to convince the old man to sell nearly 1,000 acres for millions. What should be a simple family discussion becomes a nightmare when Nick and his girlfriend Amaya discover they're not alone in these primal woods. Hidden deep within the forest lies a dark secret that has festered for generations, a place where people vanish without a trace, where terrified voices whisper about an entity known only as the Overseer, and where strange marks branded into flesh hold a power that defies explanation. As darkness falls, Nick realizes his grandfather has been keeping deadly secrets. The land that's been in their family for over a century harbors something evil, something that feeds on suffering and traps souls in an endless cycle of torment. The setup for why Nick needs this money is so on brand for Massey's writing style. I don't know what it is about Brandon and his love for writing dumb characters, dumb men, but the book is starting off very, very good. Now, I didn't even read the synopsis for this book. I just saw that it was by Brandon, and I saw that it was a supernatural horror / thriller. So I was like immediately sold. So that's what I've been reading lately. I want to get down to the bottom of what's going on with these woods, because the opening chapter is very strange. It starts out with some little girl in the woods, and she's hearing sounds while she's in the woods. It sounds like a carnival is happening, and then she disappears into this side gate to get to this carnival. What I'm assuming might be going on in these woods is that maybe the woods just like present to you your heart's desires and like your wants and things like that, because I'm like, a carnival in the woods, and the little girl just went, and and that was just like the first chapter. And so I'm like, okay, are we being like set up? Is the carnival really in the woods? Like, what's going on at the carnival? I want to go to the carnival. Like, is it gonna be corn dogs and turkey legs? I like a good carnival turkey leg. So maybe that's what's going on with the woods. yeah, we're gonna get down to the bottom of it, and I can't wait till I come back at the end of the month and let y'all know whether my prediction was right or wrong. But yeah, definitely get into Backwoods. Go ahead, screenshot it, friend, by Brandon Massey, because Brandon, you know, Brandon, he's gonna do something for you every time. Whether it's irritate you, make you laugh, you know, make you a little sad, a little angry, he's gonna give you some type of emotion, okay? So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. And then I have a bunch of other books on my Kindle that we're gonna get to it, okay? The next book that I'm going to be showing you guys is I, Medusa, which is an arc that comes out this month on the 18th. I haven't read it yet, obviously. But I've heard nothing but great things, nothing but great things. So let's get into the synopsis, which sounds really good. So this is a reimagining of the myth of Medusa. Medi, a young goddess figure, is overshadowed next to her beautiful sisters and divine parents. When fate intervenes, her locks turn to snakes for a crime she didn't commit. She must write her own story, not as a victim, but as a vigilante, navigating power, betrayal, and myth. So I've never known like the backstory of Medusa, but just going off of some of the reviews I've seen for this book, basically Medusa, before she became Medusa, she was a good person. And then, you know, she became a villain because people were accusing her of crimes she didn't really do, which broke her heart and made her evil. So that's what I'm getting from this, and that is such a interesting concept. I'm not really a person who is into mythology and Greek mythology and things like that, but I feel tremendously bad for good people who turn evil, because I be feeling like, dang, life could have been so much different for them if life would have treated them better, or if they would have made different choices, or if they would have just had somebody come and sit and talk with them, or come and just sit and listen to them vent. That's why it's important to check on your people, because you never know if somebody just needs a hug, or if somebody just needs to vent. So this seems like a very good time. Now, am I going to get to it before the 18th? Probably not. But one thing about me is, even though I'll be getting these ebooks, I'll also be buying the physicals. So it ain't nothing but a thing. It ain't nothing but a thing, okay? Don't worry about it. The author, she gonna get her coin from me regardless. So, period. Next on the list, which is gonna be a little shocking for some, is Butterfly by Ashley Antoinette. Now, before you be like, girl, I did download books 1 through 4. I did not download the 5th book, if there is a 5th book, right? I did not. I feel like I've read book 1 before, but I don't remember. I really don't. And I believe they say book 1 came out in 2020. I feel like it's been longer than that. No? Correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like I read this before I even knew about Goodreads. So now I just don't even remember, or I don't know, because the name Morgan Atkins just sound familiar. Is Morgan the same character in A Moth to a Flame? I don't know, but I know I read book 1 for A Moth to a Flame. So for those of you who are not in the urban fiction world, Butterfly is a very popular series that for some reason, well, not for some reason, y'all know I don't read series, so this is not like some shocker, but it is an urban drama with a little romance, okay? And the Butterfly series is centered around Morgan Atkins, and it is an urban drama romance, and it is about her past love, her present stability, and the choices she must make when the ghost of her past returns. So that is like a lump summary of all 4 books. We are going to be following Morgan throughout her storyline, I'm guessing. Okay, so I guess Morgan starts off, having this safe, coddled life, but she's bored. And this sounds familiar. I don't know. I might have to do a little series of my own of me just getting through these books, because I'm like, girl, why haven't you read this yet? But child, yeah. So I got Butterfly 1 through 4, and I could tell it's gonna be a wild time. Now, one of my best friends, she is an Ashley Antoinette fan, and she told me that Miss Ashley has let her readers know she has writer's block, and y'all over there beating down her door for a new book, and she's trying to tell y'all, look, I'm tapped out right now. Ask me again next year. So if you are an Ashley Antoinette fan and you are waiting for her next book, girl, don't hold your breath, because Miss Ashley has writer's block. That's what my best friend said. Like, I don't know. She's a fan, so she would know before I would know. But yep, that's what she said. Now, that's what the people is saying on the street, that Miss Ashley has writer's block. So, which is fine. I feel like Ashley has fed the streets long enough to where she could take a break or two. She done released a lot of books, so just go back and reread some of her books that she has in her catalog. That's my answer. That's all I got. So the next thing on this list is a book that y'all have seen on my channel before. When I was in Barnes & Noble, I first saw this book and I fell in love with the cover. And ever since then, I've just been thinking about this book. Now, the book don't have the best track record. It ain't really hitting on, Amazon reviews or Goodreads or anything like that. But what I'm learning to do is not just go off of what the people are saying. I'm going to read it for myself, because I'm genuinely interested in what the book is about. And the cover is just so cute. So I tried to start it, but I stopped mid chapter 1. But that don't mean nothing, okay? That don't mean a thing. So the book that I'm talking about, it's You Every Time by Charlene Thomas. And okay, the Kindle does not do the cover justice, because the cover is like vibrant and pink, and it's just really cute. The physical is actually really cute. So I'm still gonna buy it. I don't know. It's just a cute, little YA story. So a little snippet of the synopsis goes: Sydney and Marcus meet by chance when their orders get mixed up, and then everything resets. On September 24th, they experience a strange accident. Sydney awakens back in her bed on the same day, only she remembers the day before. As they keep reliving that day, they must navigate grief, connection, and whether time can be broken. So I'm trying to figure out, how did this curse happen? It gotta be a curse if you keep running into the man in your dreams, but you keep waking up experiencing the same day. Are there lessons to be learned? Is there something they're missing? What is going on? And this is a YA romance with a time loop twist and emotional themes of loss and healing. So, like I said, I ain't never been scared to read something that didn't nobody like. So that's just that on that. The next book that I got on my Kindle is Church Girl by Naima Simone. And I love this cover. Don't that look like Nipsey Hussle? Tell me that don't look like Nipsey Hussle. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I love this cover. And the only person I've ever seen talk about this book is Brandy on her booktube channel. So, but I feel like I have seen this on somebody's stories on Instagram. I don't know. It don't matter. So, Church Girl was released November 26, 2024. And here's a little short synopsis of what it's about. So Aaliyah Montgomery is a preacher's daughter who walks away from her wedding and her small town expectations to become a nanny in Chicago for a tattoo artist's single dad with a young daughter. She's running from her past. He's loaded with baggage. Sparks fly, boundaries fall, and she must decide if love is worth the risk when it wasn't part of her plan. That sounds so good, because them church people do be trying to force you into their own little box that they want you to fit in. And it sounds like she is not with all of that. Like, it sounds like they was trying to force her to marry some guy that she just wasn't really feeling. Now, I wonder if what this guy was doing for her, just, to be like, nah, I'm cool off of you. These are some good books. That's a good synopsis. That is a good one. Interesting reads. I'm always interested in books that show a glimpse of church life and how it's not perfect. Because I grew up in the church, and I don't have like any crazy stories per se, but it's just always fun to read books that have a little churchy vibe to it. So this will be a good one. I don't know if I would get to it soon. I don't know. I've been mood reading lately, so we're gonna see. Next on the list is, oh, y'all are going to gag, honey. Gag. Guess what arc your girl got? I got The Art of Loving You by Natasha Bishop, which is part 2 of Only for the Week. I almost said Only for the Summer. I know y'all mad. I know y'all are gagging. So I do have this arc, and this book comes out, let's see, April 14th of 2026. And let's get into this little short snippet of the synopsis. So it says, Danny Jenkins, a model turned influencer, doesn't believe in romance or second chances. Neither do I, girl, because who's doubling back after you did me dirty? No. But when her mentor dies, she and Mackay Wright, the man who broke her heart, are forced into a bucket list road trip to honor her mentor's final wishes, old wounds, new chances, and the possibility that maybe the right person was always there. So this is a contemporary romance with a second chance trope mixed with influencer / celebrity context. So I don't remember these people from book 1. All I remember is my man. All I remember is Rome, okay? I don't remember Danny. I don't remember Mackay. I don't remember none of these people. But I'm here for a good time, okay? This will be my second Natasha Bishop book. And I am going to get to it before it release, because I do want Natasha to get all the reviews that she needs to really get this book out there. So definitely go ahead and pre-order this book if you are a fan of Only for the Week. And I was talking to some book besties, and we were all kind of like, I don't really remember anything about book 1. I'm like, Child, all I remember is the little video game scene at the end. And they were like, there's a video game scene at the end. And the other person was like, oh, that must have been in the bonus chapter. And I hella forgot that there was a bonus chapter. So, yeah, I probably need to double back and read the book again, because it is worth a reread. So, but I don't know if I feel like doing all that. I might just dive head in and just keep on swimming. We might just go ahead and do all of that. So I don't know, y'all. Y'all will be seeing me read this probably in January or something like that. You know, my birthday month. We might, you know, do a little big over there like that. The next book that I went ahead and got is In Deadly Company by L.S. Stratton. Now, this book was released this year on September 2nd, and a little quick synopsis says, Nicole Underwood, the assistant to a powerful CEO, survives a chaotic birthday weekend at her boss's estate that ends in murder. A year later, she consults on a film about the event. She must confront the trauma, the media, and whether she was truly innocent. Y'all, Nicole girl, I don't think she 100% innocent. I feel like Nicole, you probably done seen some things. You might be, what they call it, guilty by omission. Is that what it's called when you don't say what you saw or say what you know? I'm gonna have to look that up, because one thing about me, y'all ain't gonna have me looking stupid. So, yeah, this seems like a very interesting ride, and I feel like I read another book by her before. Oh no, I haven't read any books by her, but I did want to read Do What Godmother Says, because I've seen this book floating around a lot, and I've always wanted to read it, but I've never gotten around to it. Sundown Girls looks interesting too. Okay, girl. And I have seen Not So Perfect Strangers floating around too. So LS, girl, you are building up your catalog, and it's looking good. So I'm gonna have to get into, oh, she's cute. I'm gonna have to get into what this book got going on. So yeah, In Deadly Company. Okay, I haven't seen too many people review this, so I don't know if it's a silent killer, like it's really good but ain't nobody got to it yet, or the latter. This book I actually downloaded from the Black Readers Appreciation event. I think it's pronounced Bray. This is my first time participating in this event, and I've seen people saying they downloaded like 200 books, or I downloaded 300 books. Y'all got on them people website and downloaded one book. I downloaded Hey Lover by D.L. White, and one of my boos in my Discord group was like, what made you download that, girl? I just wanted to download something. I just wanted to be able to say I did it. Okay, so this was released back in December of 2022, and it is a second chance romance about soulmates reuniting. Themes include cancer, treatment, depression, fake relationships, and infidelity. So, you know, I don't know, friend. It just sounded good. Like, it sounded like it was gonna be real messy. You know, like, you know how you read a synopsis and you be like, oh, this sounds like it's real messy. That's what this was giving. It just sounded like it was just gonna give me a real messy time. So this is my one book that I downloaded. And for y'all who are saying y'all downloaded 200 something books, when are you really gonna be ready to read all 200? That is crazy. That is really crazy. So here's what Google says about the synopsis, because the little rinky-dink synopsis that I have written down just didn't do nothing for my soul. So it says, struggle isn't love. At least that's what a broken Malik Haynes told himself when he walked away from the love of his life just as her career was on the rise. With any luck, he would have time and space to dig himself out of a dark hole, healing, rebuilding, launching his game studio, and writing his premiere game took time. Suddenly, it had been nearly a decade since they last spoke. Seeing her in the media stirs up a long harbored desire to reconnect, and Malik takes the biggest chance of his life. Could that door open again? After taking over her father's company, India Parker is on the hunt for the next big thing to push her company forward. In the background of her success, there is loneliness, longing, and the feeling that there's a large part of her life that has been on pause. When a surprise gift arrives at her office, it reminds her of the man she used to love and would like to love again. The choice to open that door and press play is hers. So, I'm feeling like they should get back together, even though I don't know what happened and why they broke up or whatever. But I feel like when you're rich, it's always better to be with somebody or versus trying to get to know somebody new, because you never know if that somebody new is there to leech off of you, unless they got their own shit. If they got their own shit, you should be fine. But I don't know, this just seems real messy. It seems like a good time, so I'm interested in reading that. Surprise, surprise. And that is it. That's all I got. Y'all, out of all these books that I just listed, which one sound the most interesting? Like, which one would you read, like, right now? Like, if you could read them right now, you would. I ain't gonna lie. Looking over this list and just from going over the synopsis, I feel like I would probably want to read Church Girl out of all of these. Well, I'm already reading Backwoods, but outside of that, probably Church Girl or I'm Medusa. I'm Medusa sounds really, really good. Drop down in the comments and let me know. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you join my book club, the official chapter chat, make sure you join my reading lounge, Raggedy Reads, and make sure you download my short story ebook, You Never Know. And that is it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.